welcome to another fun video. So when I was sharing my December daily with you guys on my blog, and you can go ahead and check out my December daily from last year there, I talked about Masterboards and how I had created a cover for my December daily last year from a Masterboard. And I had promised that I would go ahead and make a video and show you what a Masterboard is. So for this project, I am using an old catalog as my base. So this is a great way to upcycle old catalogs. I also use pieces of card, like large pieces of card, if I want bigger Masterboards. And the idea basically is that you collage. That's all you do. You just collage and then you cut it up. You cut up the Masterboard to create tags or book covers or, journaling cards, bookmarks, anything goes. And so I have a few things in my collage box that I use. This is a magazine called Daphne's Diary, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous magazine. And as you can see, there are lots of little pieces that can be used for collage. So I use pieces like this. I use things from old book covers, old books, pages from old books, a few embellishments, some laces, just anything goes, anything that looks good. So what we will do is we will go ahead and just start collaging. So one of the tools that ever since I've discovered them, I really love using them in my collage Masterboards are these We Are Memory Keepers tear guides. And what this does is that it allows you to create a nice straight tear, but it's very organic. I mean, it does look like it's been torn, and I really, really like this. So I'm just taking out a few pieces, and like this you can really utilize a lot of the magazine, right? And a lot of any kind of magazines that you enjoy reading that have nice images in them. And so basically I'm just going to start and I'm going to try and talk you through my thought process here. To be very, very honest, I'm not particularly super intentional about what I do when I'm creating these Masterboards, because this to me is supposed to be a relaxing craft, not something I worry about. The worst that can happen is that I'll end up with something I don't like. That's really not a big problem. So this is a image that I got from an old book. I do go to thrift stores a lot and get secondhand books for my collages, because I feel like some of the images are just gorgeous. And frankly, the older the book, I feel the better the images. Recently, I went to Kazakhstan and I was lucky enough to stumble upon a few pre-Soviet Soviet era children's books, and just the illustrations in those were so gorgeous that I just had to pick them up for journaling. Now, one thing I do keep in mind is that I'm going to be tearing this up, this whole Masterboard, right? And so if there are images that I don't want torn up, those I do not include. So for instance, the Santa that I just, put on, I'd rather keep him for a page in my December daily, because I feel like I want to preserve Santa in his entirety. So I have some photographs, recipe cards, some of these things I get from AliExpress, and this kind of vintage ephemera is great to get from someplace like AliExpress or Temu. Just make sure that whatever you're buying at least kind of looks royalty free, because I am an artist and I do not think that piracy in any shape or form is okay. So we have to be careful about that. This is again a page from an old book, and I kind of really like that. So, but because I had cut this out, I don't like the edges. I want them to be a little more organic. And this way, I mean, if you create masterboards in a magazine, you can just keep creating them and not cut them up till you need embellishments. And it's a wonderful way to keep the whole project contained as well. Because I know that all of us crafters struggle with keeping everything contained and neat and clean. At least I do. And now, for instance, if you wanted to use this as a book cover, I mean, just tear this out and fold it in half and create a book cover, you could definitely do that. And that is a place where you could utilize like larger images. For instance, if I wanted to create a December daily cover, I could probably put Santa somewhere over here so that when I fold, a little bit of him is still there. And now I'm wondering, because he does look very nice here, I'm wondering if I can just put him there and then be intentional in the way I cut, seeing how half of him will look, because I think this would make a very nice holiday bookmark. But maybe I will save that because I don't want to mess that up. And the thing with collage boards is that, I mean, you don't know how they're going to turn out. So if you are attached to a certain image or piece of art, this is not the project that I would suggest you use it for. This is again a dust jacket from a children's book. I think I am going to put this maybe over here. Let's see. So I usually, again, if you've been seeing my videos, you know I like working in layers. So first I cover up the whole page with these background elements, and then I come back and I figure out what I want to put in the front. Because I feel if you approach art in this way of like just adding layers, it's fun and it also just ends up looking gorgeous. Gorgeous. Sorry. There we go. Again, you can always trim off little pieces that I'm sorry about the glare, because some of these are magazine pages and they're not matte. The glare will probably show up in the video. So these are offcuts from like scrapbooking, card making. I never throw any of those away. This is like a pre-cut sticker sheet that I had colored and then added some texture paste too. I like using them in journaling because they just add a fun little pop of color and texture. And if you want me to make a video showing you how I create these little stickers, you can leave a comment below and I will get to that as well. So the texture paste and the sprays that you see I've used here are all art materials that I've created myself. I've mixed them up myself. They're not store-bought. And so again, if you're interested in stuff like that and you want to see more of like a DIY art materials video, let me know and I will create that for you. Okay. Again, this is a paper that I sprayed. It's vellum. This is just a piece that I was testing new watercolors on. So honestly, just anything goes. And the more variety you have, I feel the better everything looks. And I feel like having a couple of Daphne's Diaries is really, really good for this project because they have some really gorgeous borders and frames that you can use for these projects. And you get so much use out of one magazine. You get to read it, you get to be inspired, and then you get to create with it. Okay, so now the entire page is covered and this is where I would stop my first layer and start work on the second. So for the second layer, I like to bring in a few embellishments. I love using this star trim. I think this is from Maggie Holmes. And then this is also the part where I do bring out more ephemera stickers. So I'm just going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, so these are the things that I want to use first. So this is just, again, a piece of ephemera. This was a die cut. This is a sticker. So I'm trying to include as many things as I possibly can so that I can share with you as many ideas as possible. Now you can also go ahead and tear stickers. There is no rule that says you cannot. And I actually really like doing that because as you can see over here, this is just part of a rainbow. Sometimes you just want a little something, you don't want the whole thing. And this is also great for like tucking into spaces and layers. I do think I want that there. You can also come in and add stuff like ribbon offcuts, basically anything that you feel will look nice. Now I'm going to take a few more die cuts and embellishments and add those, and then we will go ahead and start cutting this up, which is my most favorite thing to do, cutting up a masterboard. So I'm going to show you this. This is a tray that I have of embellishments, little pieces that are left over from other projects I did, or kits that have, where I've used everything and just, you know, a few things are left. So I'm going to use this. So as you can see, there's just all sorts of stuff in here. And I'm just grabbing a few things and we will work with those. I'm already loving the way this masterboard is looking. Okay, maybe this here. These die cuts are really hard to glue down, but I feel like they're worth it because they just add a level of detail and gorgeousness that I think is not possible any other way. Okay, and you do want to make sure that everything is glued down really well, because we are going to cut this up, and so just putting glue on the ends is not going to work. I hope that this video inspires you to give masterboards a try. This is a really, really great way to just relax. I think all of us need a lot of that these days. Just taking a break and relaxing. So another thing that I really like to do is add paint splatters to the finished masterboard before I cut it up. But probably I'm going to skip that on this one. So as you can see, this is, I mean, it's already looking so beautiful. Now I'm going to go in, and the way I use this trim is I cut the stars apart, because I feel like all of them together is a bit much, but they're the perfect little finishing touch. And also, I mean, I think this was, I got it on sale for like $3. It's a lot of bang for your buck. I've been using it for ages. So for this, what I usually do is I just go in and drop the glue where I want the star to go. Maybe one over here. Sometimes I hold on to my masterboards for a while. I mean, I don't cut them up because I just like the way they look so much that it's very hard to do that. Just, you know, kind of tear into it. But I will be doing that for the sake of this video. And there you go. I think I am going to call this finished. I will let everything dry before I cut into it, because I mean that'll just make for better, an easier job cutting it. So I will see you very soon and we will cut into this beauty, I promise. Okay, so I'm back. I think this has dried okay, and I just added a couple of stickers and a little bit of stamping, and now we are ready to tear this out. So I'm going to take a craft knife and just going to remove the page. There we go. I'm just going to hold this up once more, show it to you before we cut. Okay, so now the thing with masterboards is you can either keep looking at it and wondering which part you should cut and how you should cut it, or, and this is why I love them, you turn it around and you do a blind cut. And I'm going to do that. I am going to do a blind cut. So this is, let's see, 8 inches by 11 inches. And I do know, so one thing that I want to make sure of is the direction. So it is vertical. I want one bookmark. And then I want some tags or journaling cards or pockets for my December daily. So I'm going to bring out my cutting board. Cutting tool, and we are going to not look at it at all. Because this is 11 inches, I think I'm going to take 3 inches off the top before I cut my bookmark. So if I do that, this will give me a very nice pocket for my December daily. And I have found that it works, the cutter works pretty okay going through everything. Now we are not going to look at this. We are just going to cut 2 inches for our bookmark. You can also cut something this size and make a belly band. Or actually, this is the perfect size for a belly band. We'll see. I'm not going to cut that yet. And now this is 7 inches by about 8 inches. So if I go 4 inches down, this will again give me a nice pocket for my December daily. And since that is the project that I'm working on right now, that's what I have in mind. So we messed up 1 star over there. Now, if you wanted, you could go ahead and you could, cut this up even smaller. You could back it up with some index cards and create journaling spots. But I'm just going to leave this like this. And this Masterboard has given me 4 pieces. Now, a lot of people, instead of using magazines, they also use scrapbook paper that they don't like, because that gives a really nice background to work with also. So I'm going to turn these around now. And see, like, it's just, every piece is beautiful. But if I had cut this worrying about what everything is going to look like, I would not have ended up with these. I love them. I truly, truly love them. Now, this is my December daily. And these are a few pages I've done. If you want to check out how I did them, how I created this book, you can check out my YouTube channel. But I'm just wondering, let me just look at how gorgeous that pocket would be. So instead of procrastinating and waiting I'm just going to go ahead and put these pockets in now. I probably will have a piece left over here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this because this is slightly thicker card, and just folding it will probably not give me what I'm looking for. So 1/2 inch here, and maybe a little less than 1/2 inch here. We can fold these, and then I can create this pocket over here. So I will probably need to go to the full 1/2 inch here, and the star just folds in, so that's fine. Is this the right size? Yes, it is. And now if you want everything to look nice and finished, what we can do is we can round the corners. Rounding the corners just all of a sudden, I feel, elevates the look of any craft project. Wow, I'm loving this, just absolutely loving it. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to put glue here and then glue here, and we are going to put the pocket in. Gorgeous little pocket, and just look at the richness that just comes to this whole project because of this collage piece. I mean, it's just looking gorgeous. Really, really love it. So I'm going to make sure that it folds okay, which it does. That's great. Now this I can also use like this, and I think I might do that. I think this is something that I might just use as a journaling card. And so what I'm going to do is just round the edges, and I'm going to take some writing paper later and back it up with that, and I'm just going to hold this in place with a paper clip for now. Love it, just absolutely love it. Okay, so now we have this and we have this. Now this was our bookmark. I could probably also fold this in half and glue it together and turn this into the bookmark. And we could turn this into a belly band for over here. That would look fun. Over here would also be fun. Or a tuck spot over here. That would also be good. I think we will turn it into a tuck spot. And again, round the corners. And we're just going to glue it. So it's like a side pocket. There we go. And again, we will come around and we will round these as well. And that's that. We have a nice little spot here to tuck stuff in, little cards or whatever. So we created a pocket. We created a journaling card. Where did it go? Here it is. And we created this side pocket. This was all for our December daily. And now I'm going to turn this into the bookmark. And I want this to be my Christmas bookmark. So now I'm thinking, and so that's the fun part. I mean, once you've cut this up, you can always go back and add things that you feel are missing or that, you know, you want it to be more intentional about. So I'm just looking for Santa. I know this is probably not the best way to keep this stuff. I have yet to come up with a better way, but I usually just have like a box or a lid to a big box like this, and I use it to store my collage materials. And usually when I'm not filming a video and I'm doing this, I usually just dump everything on the floor. I sit on the floor and I create rather large masterboards. Okay, now Santa is very big for this. That's what I was wondering. He's going to cover everything up if I go with him. So we won't do that. We will try and look at the stickers that we have and see if we want to use a couple of those. But first, I'm going to go ahead and score this. So this is a little more than 3 inches. Just a teeny tiny bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it. Make it exactly 3 inches. Turn it around and then score on 1.5 carefully. And now for this, I am going to use the stronger glue that I have, the one that ruins all my manicures, which is why I've kind of given up on the whole manicure fight now. When I know I'm crafting with this glue, I don't get a manicure. Okay, now this is again, you want to just, and I know this is a thin bookmark, but I kind of like tall and thin bookmarks. So wherever I'm running into a problem, I am not forcing the blade because I don't want to ruin this. I'm just trimming with my scissors. There we go. So that's our bookmark, but we are not done yet. And this is probably a very long video. I apologize for that. I've done the bigger corner punch. I usually don't like ribbons on my bookmark, but if you do, you can go ahead and put them. I think I'm going to go ahead and add a few of these snowflakes to reflect. Winter. What else can we put in? I like this. Everything is magical when snow is falling. And I get a little warm in my heart when I think about winter. This one I love. Because yes, I do get a wonderful feeling in winter. Maybe because that's when I get to see a lot of my family. There we go. And that's the bookmark done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do check out my other December daily videos and follow along because I'm going to be doing a lot more pages and a lot more fun craft projects this December. I'll see you in the next video.